Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Scott Gross. I'm joined by Bill Ruel. Hello, Bill. How are you?
Good, Scott. How are you doing?
Big Saturday here. It's a big Saturday all across New Hampshire as softball and baseball teams are vying in quarterfinal games, and that's what we have here, a quarterfinal matchup between Coe-Brown Academy and Goffstown High School to see who can make it to the Final Four. So it should be a great day for softball.
We played Coe-Brown earlier in the season, won 12-2. But it really doesn't mean much now. This is a one-game deal. Winner stays, loser goes home.
Yeah, loser goes home. That's the toughest part about these single elimination tournaments is that if you have a bad day, and it can happen where the pitcher just has an off day or, conversely, you have a really good batting team and the bats go cold, and that's all it takes is one. And that's the only unfortunate thing about this type of format, especially in in high school sports, is a great team can have a bad day.
In some way, Matt has said that Coe-Brown has been their nemesis in previous tournaments. And I think he'd really like to shake the monkey off the back today.
Yeah. So today, I think we got Kaylee Chouinard. She's pitching for Goffstown, and Mallory Perrin is pitching for Coe-Brown. And I think, we talk about, keys to success. One of the things that we had chatted before we came on the air was that it's really important for Goffstown to come out fast, and put up some runs on the board in the first or two innings. We've noticed that when Goffstown has had success, they've spotted Chouinard some runs, and so that's kind of, I think, what is the key for them. And obviously, they gotta move base runners and create opportunities. So we're gonna get started with the introduction of the opening lineups. Then we're gonna have the national anthem, and then we're gonna be well underway.
Good afternoon, and welcome to today's game. Today's game is a quarterfinal game in the NHIA.
And what I think what we're going to do is we're going to turn this over, and maybe we can get Brad Parkhurst's voice on our recording.
Now, the starting lineup for Coe-Brown. Number 2, pitching, Mallory Perrin. Number 7, playing second base, Drew Sepatelli. Number 8, Emma DuBois, playing left field. Number 13, playing right field, Kerry Riley. Number 1, Shaylin Fidel, playing first base. Number 18, catching, Amelia Cronshaw. Number 15, Drew Stevens, playing shortstop. Number 5, Katie Langdon, playing center field. Number 9, Katie Messenger, playing third base. The Bears are coached by Tim Tanasco. He's assisted by Bob Salisbury and Dave Alice. Now, your starting lineups for Goffstown. Number 16, catching, Allie Lombardi. Number 9, playing third base, Taylor Gagnon. Number 2, playing second base, Shannon Gifford. Number 13, playing first base, Megan Purcell. Number 3, playing right field, Amber Davis. Number 18, playing left field, Kate Mazorski. Number 11, Justine Watterson, playing shortstop. 00, and pitching, Kaylee Chouinard. Number 6, playing center field, Kara Landry. Goffstown is coached by Matt Fleming and is assisted by Pete Bartlett, Emily D'Agostino, and Christy Jenkins. Your umpires for today's game: behind the plate, Tom Birmingham; first base, Brett McRae; at third base, Chris Furtney. We now ask that you all rise for the national anthem as we honor America and all of those who serve, both past and present. Today, the national anthem will be sung by Christy Jenkins. Thank you very much, Christy. Now let's play along.
Wow, that was an unbelievable national anthem by JV coach Christy Jenkins, multi-talented. Not only is she a fine softball coach, and I know she was a fine softball player, but what a voice.
America's Who's Got Talent.
Woo! That was really great, and certainly we'll start off a beautiful day here. Clouds, a little bit overcast, but I don't think we have any chance for showers. We've got a good crowd both at Coe-Brown and the Goffstown side. And again, today there'll be one team who will punch the ticket to the Final Four.
I like it today that they send 3 umpires to the game.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. You know, I think you don't want to have any bad calls, affect going into in a quarterfinal type of game. And, it was funny because I was thinking about this just the other day, when you're looking at the preliminary scores of softball, and then you wonder to yourself, do they really need to have a preliminary round? Should they just literally have the top 8 teams play? But I guess.
Well, again, it changed, too, because you went with the 70% rule
right
now. So that's changed and knocked it down to, 15 this year?
Yeah. Just an awful lot of teams to be in the playoff hunt, and it almost then doesn't give a whole lot of weight to the regular season and regular season outcomes. But, hey, it is what it is. I guess it's the way it's always been, right? So can't really screw around with it. So once again, we've got really no significant changes in terms of lineups. I'd say field positions. You're going to have Megan Purcell at first base for Goffstown. You're going to have Gifford playing shortstop, Watterson. I'm sorry, at second base, Watterson at short, Gagnon at third. Behind the plate is Lombardi pitching Chouinard. In right field, we've got Amber Davis, center field, Carol Landry, and in left field, Mazurski. So here we go as the first pitch. And that's low to the pitcher, Perrin. So we've played this team once before, as you said, and a lot of fly ball outs and a lot of strikeouts. And that's in there for a strike. So I think Goffstown needs to be careful here. Anytime you're putting the ball in the outfield, you just got to be careful. And they're playing about normal depth. And that's foul-tipped off Lombardi's catcher's mask. And that's now a 1-2 count to Perrin. So Coe-Brown is in the red and black. And she hits a sharp one to center field. Over there is Landry, who throws it into second base. So Perrin gets on with a single. And one thing that we should point out here is that this is a team that likes to run. Now, I don't know what type of speed Perrin has.
Cepatelli's supposedly a slap hitter,
Yeah.
too.
So Drew Cepatelli steps in, and that ball's in the dirt. Here comes a bunt, and she bunts through it. You want to see both Purcell and Gifford kind of get over there. A nice job by Amber Davis to back up a potential throw, but definitely Perrin is taking a big lead. That's bunt fouled, out of play. That's a 1-2 count. So I kind of doubt that she'll be bunting here. And again, you said she's a slap hitter, right?
Yeah.
So you got Taylor Gagnon about 3 steps in at third base. Megan Purcell, maybe same thing. Middle infield is normal depth, and she bunts one.
Kick it foul.
It
Yep.
goes foul. It wasn't a bunt. It was a slap hit. And a good job by Gagnon to pick it up in foul territory. I've seen a couple instances where a player doesn't pick it up and then it rolls in.
Cepatelli was 2 for 4 last time we faced her.
And I'm sure Coe-Brown is thinking the same thing. It's like we got to jump ahead and get runs early and get Goffstown working from behind. And that was a nice pitch, but she didn't get the call from the umpire. So a 2-2 count. But that was a good thought. That was like a heater.
Tough to bunt those.
Yeah.
Tough to slap those.
And she barely gets a piece of that one, and that's fouled off as well. 2-2 count. And this is what's good about Goffstown's battery between the pitcher and catcher is that they're both seniors. They talk a lot to each other, both on and off the field. Another one fouled
foul.
off. So this girl has got making good contact and really kind of forcing Chouinard to throw some different pitches here. A lot of chatter on both benches. Fouled up top, and wow, Brianna Fournier showed some reflexes there.
We'll get her a mask.
You always got to be careful with a left-handed batter when you're up here. One never knows. And that ball is hit.
Nice play.
That's a great play.
Good bat control.
Yeah, all she did there was she extended her bat on the ball, and the bat did all the work.
I think we threw her a changeup,
Yeah.
too.
So Emma Du Bois, the left fielder, steps in. So there's no outs here. 2 straight singles for Coe-Brown. Here comes a bunt, and no one's covering.
Keepers. We get a 2 steal, double steal.
So a double steal. The problem there is that Watterson was way late coming over on that play. So now we've got runners at second and third. Coe-Brown is threatening here. And that's outside for ball 2. So right off the bat, Goffstown is under pressure here. And that's inside for ball 3. So now, no doubt, number 8, and that's Emma Dubois, the left fielder. No doubt she's going to take a pitch. And she doesn't. That's a surprise. On deck is the right fielder, Carrie Riley, number 13. So with a 3-1 count to Emma Dubois. Here comes a bunt. Nice bunt. And that's well executed by Coe-Brown as they played a run here in the top of the first inning, and the runner goes over to third. So a well executed sacrifice by Emma Dubois, and Megan Purcell picks the ball up and throws it over to first. So what your job is here is obviously you got to get outs, and I'm not sure what Matt Fleming is telling his team, but hey, probably just get the runner at first here. We might give up 2, but this is a potent Goffstown hitting team, so you got to hope that you can get your runs back.
Riley's a hitter for them, too.
Good stop by Lombardi. That saved a run. Another one in the dirt. So that one, she short-armed it. She's short-armed 2 now in a row.
I think it's time for Lombardi just to go out and talk to her a little bit,
Yeah.
you know.
She looks
Take control.
Yeah.
She's a little nervous, it looks like.
And this is not unusual for Chouinard. She tends to get better in the second, third innings. Great pitch by Chouinard. And I'll tell you this. If this is a type of inning where Chouinard can get out of a jam here and only give up 1, that will be a tremendous psychological lift for Goffstown. And that looked good, but she does not get the call. Tom Birmingham being a little bit stingy behind the plate. That's a 3-1 count.
Now he let the last girl swing on 3-1. Let's see what happens here.
Here comes a one in the dirt, and that's going to be a walk. So now you're going to have a runner in difference play. So that's where it gets a little bit dangerous. You see? That's where it gets dangerous. So now it's second and third with only 1 out. When you give up that walk, it's trouble.
Watch another bunt here.
So she's short-arming everything. I think this would be wise. You're right. I think for Lombardi to head out there because, you know, that's probably about her 4th short ball in the dirt. Now, I think probably the strategy is that you do want to throw low pitches today because this team has been hitting fly balls. But that being the case, you need to be careful.
Got to get strikes, though.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's good job by Watterson, and Mazurski's got to move in on that as well. Everyone's got to be moving all the time here. So 1-2 count, big pitch coming here for Chouinard. Oh, little outside, 2-2 count, 1 out.
Need a strikeout.
Well, this is what we saw in the first game. There was hits, there was fly balls, and there was a lot of strikeouts on the Coe-Brown side. But they're threatening here with 2 runners in scoring position and another one in the dirt. So now we've got another full count. So this is kind of uncharacteristic for Chouinard. And that's in there, strike 3. So she gets her look in, and that's Chouinard's first strikeout of the game, and it couldn't have come at a more opportune time.
Pretty tall girl for a catcher.
That's
here.
in there for a strike as well. Now, what did she do last game? I'm trying to remember.
I was just looking that up.
So 1 strike count. And she pops one up out of play over the Randstand for an 0-2 count. Now, this is what we're used to seeing with Chouinard, and that's her getting players in 0-2 holes, 1-2 holes. There you go. This would be the catcher.
Out 3 times.
Yeah. So this is a player who Chouinard has had good success with, and now she's got it on an 0-2 hole and pops another one up. So, like I said before, you know, with runners at second and third base and Coe-Brown threatening here, if Chouinard can get out of this jam, this will be big.
I think you're looking at a possible changeup. Oh, no.
Okay, 1-2 count. And a nice job by Amelia Cronshaw to hang in there. And she's...
Throw her out.
And that's it. So Goffstown gets out of a jam. They give up 1 run to Coe-Brown, but that was not quite the start that Goffstown needed. A little bit shaky by Chouinard. She gave up a couple of hits. And really, let's give some credit to Coe-Brown. They did a nice job in terms of sacrificing runners, stealing bases, right? They forced the action here.
Yeah. This is the type of game they're known for playing. They're going to make you try to throw the ball around. And I think we realize that.
So, I want to always thank our crew today. I've got Butch Gifford. He's helping us out with the graphics. And Daryl's our cameraman today. Brad Parkhurst is here doing public address. And Brianna Fournier is helping us out with the music in between innings. And we could not do these broadcasts every game without folks like Daryl and Butch and all the folks that help us at GTV. And again, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to make memories for the athletes and their parents so that kind of preserved, for them. They can look back at these games 20 years from now and reminisce.
Well, in watching this team warm up, they don't seem to have too many flaws defensively. I've never seen a right fielder throw the ball like the one they have.
Yeah, she's got a gun.
Cannon.
Yeah.
All right, so we look at the lineup. We had a little bit
So
of
we've
a
got
shuffle.
we got some changes in the lineup. Lombardi, who has hit in the 2, 3, 4 hole, is now leading off, and Mazurski's dropped to the 6th spot. Other than that, it's fairly. You got Gifford, who played cleanup, who batted cleanup. Now she's batting 3rd. So we're going to see Lombardi, Gagnon, and Gifford 1, 2, and 3 in the bottom of the 1st. Goffstown trails 1-0. And that was a nice pitch that kind of fooled Lombardi. I think Lombardi struck out her first time up in that last game against Perrin. So there's no doubt that Goffstown wants to get that. They're hungry. They want to get that run back. But you got to be patient. And that's what she does there. And she's going to drop that one in. So Ali Lombardi did exactly. I'm trying to remember what the player was for Coe-Brown, but who just, I think it was Cepitelli, who did the same exact thing. It was an off-speed pitch. She put a bat on the ball and placed it into the outfield. That is just awesome hitting. And, kudos to Cepitelli and a player like Lombardi for recognizing that. In the dirt. So you got a good speed at first base with the catcher, Lombardi. And I'd say not just good speed, but probably a pretty savvy base runner.
Outfield looks somewhat shallow to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I would say you're right. For a player like Lombardi, it is shallow.
I'm sorry,
for Gagnon. So Gagnon has come around as of late with the bat. She went through a little mid-season type slump, but she's been hitting the ball pretty well late. And she hits one to the second baseman. She misses her. So that would fielder's choice.
Moves the runner, though.
Yeah, that could have easily been a double play. It was a little bit.
I almost think that second baseman tried to tag Lombardi going by.
So here comes Shannon Gifford.
If I was the outfield,
lack of a better word, freshman phenom. And that ball's hit sharply. I tell you.
As I said, I told the outfield to back up.
Maybe they will now. It's not like, maybe they did not see her that much, right? Did she play a lot in that game? Maybe they don't know. But if you don't know, you still have to read the newspaper.
Gifford played, and she went 3 for 4, I think.
Okay. So she's in an 0-2 hole here with 1 out. And she strikes out. That ball looked like it hit the ground. And she strikes out, and now Purcell has a runner at second base. And now they're giving her a little bit more respect. The center fielder is almost at the warning track. That's in the dirt.
Nice stop.
Nice stop by the catcher.
That's
Cranshaw, number 18. So big spot here for Purcell. And she's way long on that swing. Again, here it's all about just putting a bat on the ball. And, that's,
She's missed it.
That wasn't even close on that one.
Unless she's throwing a drop, I don't know.
It's hard to see. You got on deck, you got Amber Davis, right fielder. Nice play by Cranshaw again. That ball almost got by.
This is the spot I don't like to see Purcell in with 2 strikes on her, though.
Yeah, I would agree. 1-2 count. She hits a squibber to first. No one's looking at that one.
But we got
Yeah, but it was interesting. The first baseman went for it, then went back, which was a good play. So a ground out for
no
Purcell.
runs, 1 hit, 1 left on base.
For 1 inning, Coe-Brown Academy 1, Goffstown nothing.
So Coe-Brown holds the top of the order for Goffstown scoreless in the bottom of the first. We head to the top of the second, and we're going to see
7, 8, and 9.
Yep. So that last at bat that was Crenshaw. What did she do? I just want to mark it down in my book.
She struck out 2, then the catcher to first base.
Right, strikeout. Okay.
So the first batter is Stevens. She was 2 for 3 against us last time. Got to get through a clean inning here. We got a new catcher.
That's the warm-up catcher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's Olivia Brennan. Well, I can almost predict that this game will not be a 1-0 game. So I think that's what if you're Coach Fleming, you got to let your players know. Listen, we have scored a ton of runs this year. 1 run, it's not going to be a 1-run game, guys.
No.
So let's just hold them here, and we'll get the run some other way.
Left-handed batter, Stevens.
So the 7, 8, 9 hitters are up.
I wonder if we're looking at another bunt, maybe.
Yep.
Coach was pretty active at third.
Oh, with the signs?
Yep.
And a nice pitch by Chouinard. And I'll tell you, what I have noticed about her from watching her is that it's that first inning tends to, sometimes be the most difficult for her, and then she just kind of gets into a groove. So let's see what happens here. She looks a little bit angry at the start of this inning.
Got her.
And she gets her on another strikeout. It's kind of like that other game, right? A lot of strikeouts. And there's a bunt foul. The bat went all the way over to the pitcher. How's that work?
I wonder if the ball hit the bat in fair territory, they would call her out.
Yeah. But don't you have to be careful where you throw the bat, though? And Gagnon makes a real nice play charging on that ball. So great play by the senior Taylor Gagnon, charging in from third.
Number 9, third baseman, Katie Messenger.
Katie Messenger steps in, the third baseman.
Struck out 3 times the last game.
Oh, that looked
She
good.
ducked under
And you
that
know
one.
what? Chouinard should be upset on that one.
She ducked under it.
Man, she's not getting a whole lot from Tom Birmingham today. So the first pitch was maybe a little outside, and I guess that was a little low. It's calling it a very tight strike zone.
It's right in there.
So from what I'm noticing, and maybe it's by the way that he's setting up. If you look at him, you can't see that because we're not showing it, but he's setting up over the that ball's hit. That's going to be a base hit.
Yep, C&I.
Yep. But the umpire Birmingham is setting up over the left shoulder of the catchers, and because of that, looks like he's calling the inside strike on right-handed batters, but not so much the outside one.
This girl got the single up the middle, I believe, last
Yep.
time.
And that was on a I think it was on a 1-2 count or.
Yep.
See here, we don't even have to worry about that first base run unless she's going to steal. But the thought of a snap throw here is just not really necessary with 2 outs. And that ball's
right
another,
up the middle.
and they're going to take
Another
advantage. And I'll tell you something, I don't know. I think on that situation you do throw. And I say that you throw to third, and I'll tell you why. I think you throw to third because now you're going to have the runner going to second base anyway. Or no, I guess you can try to throw her out of 2 outs, but.
This is the slap hitter who punched it up the, third base area?
So now you have to now be concerned. You've got Watterson, who's playing kind of, in my opinion, a little bit deep in the hole. She's got to cover the. She has to cover because she's on that side of the field. Mazurski's got to charge in much more quickly from left field here. So now the runner took second base. It's a play to first. Oh, and a good job. Gifford got over there a little bit late, but nonetheless, that's an out for Goffstown. But give credit to Coe-Brown, who's put together some hits, and I think that they're putting pressure on Goffstown right now. They're saying, you know what, we're going to put pressure on you, and we're going to force you to throw the ball around.
They're putting runners on base,
yeah.
And again, it's their moniker is they like to run when they get the runners on base, and they've shown us that so far. All right, so we're down 1-0, and we've got Amber Davis, Mazurski, and Watterson up.
Yep.
So this changes a little bit the what we want to do, I think, with this group here.
But I would also say that arguably, when you look towards this part of the lineup, these are the lineups where when you can get on, they do a really good job of advancing runners and creating havoc.
Yeah.
So. You know, the key with Amber is we talked about this the last couple of games, is that she tends to get herself in these 1-2 or 0-2 count holes, and they're hard to, it's hard as a softball player, or even even baseball when you're in these types of counts, because you're susceptible to, change-ups or just even a bad call by an umpire and you're out.
Yeah.
So she also tends to be a first pitch hitter as well.
Oh my
and
Lord.
that's
she knew she didn't have
that.
that.
And that one was just not a good pitch.
Oh,
and another one. I mean,
off-speed, 2 off-speed pitches. This is what I told Matt the other day. I said, when you bat Amber in batting practice, you have her start out with an 0-2 count.
Yeah, right.
Have her just start with that.
She hits one foul, stays with it though, and that's good. That's what she's taking. It looks like she's taking a deep breath here. Looks like we got Frank McBride under the scoreboard in right field. And that's a good piece of hitting right there. She fouls it off, but that's exactly what Cepitelli did. That's exactly what Lombardi did, and that is be patient. Just put the bat on the ball, and as you saw, that ball went like 150 feet down the line, foul, but at least she stays in it.
Just drop the ball in between the outfielders. All right.
So a good at bat here for Amber Davis, who was in an 0-2 hole with 2 really tough, swings out of the gate, and now she's able to stretch it to a 2-2 count. And this is what you want to do. You want to stretch the pitch count here.
Watch the off-speed pitch, maybe.
That's low for a 3-2 count. So Amber Davis, who started off in an 0-2 hole, has now clawed her way back to a 3-2 count. Let's see what she throws her. Off speed or fastball? What do you think?
Fastball.
High. So Amber Davis, what a tremendous at bat for Amber Davis. And I'll tell you, if you're going to win a game like today or advance into any type, it's an at bat like that by Davis that's going to make it happen. So now you've got Mazurski, who is a good bunter. And she does, and that's in the dirt.
The second baseman covering, backing up
Yep.
first. Third baseman's in pretty shallow. First baseman's deep.
She shows bunt. That's a great bunt. And she barely gets Mazurski, who flew down to first and gets her by about a half a step. But great execution by Mazurski. And now we've got Davis at second in scoring position and Watterson. And let's see what they do here. I wouldn't be surprised if she bunts too.
No, ooh.
But that was a changeup.
Yep.
And she hung in there. Yeah. But if they're smart, they'll recognize that she has thrown that changeup as a first pitch,
Yeah.
I'd say 80% of the time here, guys.
Good eye.
Amber Davis needs to pay a lot of attention here because this girl is susceptible to pass balls. There's been a lot in the dirt. Catcher's done a good job so far. And speak of the devil. So there we go. A 2-1 count.
But notice how their infielders, every
Yeah.
player going back
Right.
to second base.
Yeah.
The second baseman's
Well, you're
covering.
keeping
Yeah.
Amber Davis honest. That ball's a high one. Let's see if we're going to tag up. I think you do tag up here. I think you do. That ball was deep. I don't think you would have tagged up on the right fielder, but I think you do tag up in that situation. But so now Kaylee Schwannard. The pitcher is up. And she takes one for a strike. So Goffstown had a runner at second base in the first inning.
Are they playing shallow in the outfield? Oh, my word. Oh.
So the off-speed pitch is really wreaking havoc for the Goffstown hitters today. And that's a pop to the second baseman, and that'll do it for Goffstown in the bottom of the second inning. And they strand another runner at second base. And again, it's a 1-0 lead by Coe-Brown heading into the third. And who's leading off here?
Du Bois, Riley, and Bedell.
Right.
Sacrifice. The other was a base
Walk.
on balls, and Bedell
And
struck
strikes.
out.
Yep.
Taylor Gagnon doing a little housekeeping out there
Yeah.
at the pitching mound. Or the circle, I guess you call it in softball.
Yeah. So the success right now for Coe-Brown through 2 innings against Goffstown hitters is that changeup. It is keeping them off, and she's doing it wisely. She's doing it on the first pitch because they're expecting to jack it.
You got me. Yeah.
So head coach Tim Tenasco will head over to third baseline. We met him prior to the game. Seemed like a real super nice guy. Funny guy. There's a nice network of Division II softball coaches. We've had the pleasure of meeting a lot of them. Great group of people. That ball's hit to Gifford, who stays with it. What a nice play by Shannon Gifford, who ranged to her right, knocked it down, and she gets a bit of congratulations from Purcell. You're going to need plays like that.
And she broke right away on the ball. That was the key thing for her.
I'm sorry, to her left, I should say. Yep. It's out of play.
Riley, who walked last time.
That ball was hit sharply, though. So, I mean.
Yep.
I like that pitch. A little bit high. Oh, I don't understand how you don't give her that one. Man. I got to be honest with you. I've seen about 5 or 6 pitches that that Chouinard has just not gotten today. She went around on that one. 2-2 count, so that'll make up for the last one. So a 2-2 count to Kerry Riley, the right fielder, who, as we said, has a gun. And that's to hit to Gagnon, who throws it over to first. Stretch there by Purcell for 2 outs. So nice job by Gagnon. And in steps Shaylin Bedell, who's the first baseman. She struck out looking at her first at bat. So quick 2 outs for Goffstown in the top of the 3rd inning, and they could use a 1-2-3. That's in there for a strike. Awesome crowd here today in Goffstown. That one looked good too, but she doesn't get it, and that's like her. That's like probably the 7th pitch that it's just strange. She's been getting those calls all season long. That's going to be a tough play for Watterson, and she gets her. What a nice play by Watterson and a better stretch by Megan Purcell. So 3 ground outs, 1 to second, 1 to third, and 1 to short, and that is a 1-2-3 inning for Goffstown.
Needed that.
And they needed that one.
Yeah. All right, girls, let's go. We need some runs this inning.
So the story through 2 innings of batting is that there's no doubt here that Mallory Perrin, the pitcher, has kept Goffstown off balance. They have been swinging at off-speed pitches just way ahead of them. And it looks like to me, and we'll see if she does the same pattern here, but it looks to me that the vast majority of her first pitches are changeups. Now, that's a really smart strategy in my opinion, because if you've got a hitting team like Goffstown, a power hitting team, you got to keep them off balance, and that's a way to do it, because even you saw what Lombardi did, right? So Lombardi is a power hitter as well, but she had to pretty much wait on a pitch and then just put the bat on to get a single, and it kind of takes a little bit of the power away. And it keeps them thinking. So Carol Endry, who is batting in the 9th position, is leading off, and she takes strike 1. This would be a great way to start off with Lendry getting on base. And she swings through that one. Now she's in an 0-2 count.
Change up.
I would bet you're right. Third baseman is playing about 4 steps in, and Lendry goes down swinging. So now Ali Lombardi steps in, the catcher. She singled in her first at bat, and she's Goffstown's captain. Senior. She's had a great season, batting over 500, just great defensively behind the plate. And that's low for ball 1. On deck is Taylor Gagnon. So Goffstown would love to at least tie this one up in this inning. Again, outfield's playing kind of shallow. And that's squibbed. Foul. So she got all that one. But, you talk about character. So she hits the ball, and she runs as fast as she can down to first. Hopefully the underclassmen are watching.
Yep. Good example to have as a captain.
Yeah. 1-1 count with 1 out. Bottom of the 3rd. That's in the dirt.
Catcher's had to work today already.
Well, the pitcher Mallory Perrin, I think, has done a great job with changing the speeds up, and that's really helped her out.
Yeah, but I don't think she wants to give Lombardi too much to hit either.
I don't think you do either. I think if you're wise, let somebody else beat you. Right fielder's playing in, and I think so is the left fielder for the most part. Center fielder's the only one playing deep here. That's in there for a strike, so now it's a 3-2 count. I was a little surprised at that one. I thought she would have went after that one. Ooh. He's
Take the walk.
Tom Birmingham that would have been a strike by a lot of different umpires. You know, I want to be fair and offer my assessment on both sides here, and both Chouinard and in that instance Perrin, they ain't getting the calls. Now you got to wonder here: is he going to show a fake bunt and have a steal or something? Because if you put your bat up, you block the vision of the catcher. And she
look at Lombardi halfway.
Yeah.
Good base runner.
But if you saw that one, she just boom dropped her elbow, and that was a pop up every day of the week.
All right, Shannon Gifford did not look good first time. Let's see what she does now.
That's because she got a changeup on the first pitch, and let's see if she gets a changeup on this next one. And she hits one to right field, and that is done. So
this girl's done a nice job pitching for them.
After 3 full innings, still Coe-Brown running back down.
but if you look at this, these now maybe they're jumping on the first hit, jumping on the first pitches, but both Gagnon and Gifford took the first pitch, and you gotta sometimes wonder here when you're down. Typically, when you're down, you take pitches, and it's not like I don't know. I don't see Gagnon and Gifford. I mean, Gifford did strike out, but she's not known to be a strikeout hitter. So I think you're seeing some of these other players from Coe-Brown. They're going deeper into the counts. The other thing I've noticed is that, we really haven't seen a whole lot of bunting except for, a sac bunt by Mazurski, right? But other than that, we haven't seen anything in terms of small ball.
Got to come through with another.
So now we're in the top of the 4th inning. Goffstown's been held scoreless.
Cranshaw,
who struck out.
Yeah.
Stevens struck out, and then it was Kate Langdon popped to third. That was like that great play that
on the tried to bunt, wasn't it?
Gagnon came in on. That's low. So this is the catcher, Amelia Cranshaw, and I tell you, it looks like if she could get a hold of one, this could be trouble. And that's hit to third again, and that's going to be hold it. And she wasn't able to stay with it. That ball was hit pretty hard.
Base hit.
And she just couldn't get that one. We'll give her a single for Cranshaw on that one, and now
you're going to see a little switch.
You should see it, right. You'll see a courtesy runner, number 17, Paige Trella. So this is where I think so far Coe-Brown has outplayed Goffstown so far in this game, is that they've gotten runners on with like no outs or with one out, and they've been able to advance runners and then run.
Definitely bunt situation.
Right. Bunted foul. And again, for those you can't see the whole field, folks, but I'll just let you know that you got the bunt. So Purcell comes in, second baseman Gifford runs over to first.
Once she shows 1-1.
And you can't see it, but everyone's moving on the play. So the third baseman Gagnon's moving in. The left fielder Mazurski is covering third. Nice Great bunt, well executed. And Gagnon runs back to third, and right behind her is Mazurski. So it's a sac bunt, a beautiful job by Drew Stevens. And now Kate Langdon, the center fielder, she popped to third, and now she will step in with a runner at second and only one out.
I wouldn't be surprised you saw it. You
might see another one. You got Gagnon even with the bag, and same thing with Purcell. She shows bunt. And I like to see Waterson get over there a lot quicker. You know, when you
But you had nobody gone.
to second.
No one was covering second.
Yeah. See, but this is what I like about what Coe-Brown is doing is that they're forcing Goffstown to constantly move. It's good. It's good play by their head coach. Another bunt. So the reason why this is really very intelligent managing by Tim Tenasco is that he sees that it's a close game. We're in the 4th inning. It's 1-0. He knows that now a wild pitch brings in a run.
This girl hit a single last
Right.
time, too.
Right. So we got a runner at third with 2 outs. And at the plate is Katie Messenger, the third baseman. And you're right, Bill. She singled her first at bat.
Right up the middle, I believe.
And that's in there for a strike. And that's now an 0-2 count.
Come on, Kaylee, pitch yourself right out of this.
Gagnon's even with the bag at third.
Got her.
And she's done.
Got her.
So a great pitch by Kaylee Schrenard. And I'll tell you, I'm giving credit to Coe-Brown, but I'm also giving credit to Kaylee. That was a consummate small ball right
Yep.
there.
Yep. Well, maybe
Right.
he may just be playing to try to keep the game close.
Yeah.
Play his style. His style has been working. That's right now.
Right.
Say anything. He's moving runners. He's keeping runners on base. I think in every inning but the third, he's had at least one runner on base.
The furthest that Goffstown has gotten has been to second base,
Yep.
and they've done that twice. And if I'm not mistaken, we had 1 out with a runner at second, right?
Yep.
And then I think it was 2 outs with a runner at second.
Correct.
Yeah. And Coach Fleming may need to be thinking the same thing here in terms of bunting runners over because depending upon the situation, of course. I mean, you're not going to have, obviously, someone like a Shannon Gifford bunting runners over, but you're going to start to have to think about this. Now, Megan Purcell, she hit a home run in her last game, and she has been kind of up and down at the plate this year. She's started off strong, went through a little slump, then came back, and she takes her first pitch high for ball 1. Again, the outfield is
Not too
playing,
deep.
I'm going to say
Midway.
yeah. And she hits one to third. Here comes the throw. And I like to see Megan. I know she's got maybe. She seemed like when she hit it and the girl gloved it, but she got a good bat on it. So Davis, who had a super at bat,
Yep.
she was in an 0-2 count, and she battled back to a walk. And she was, the changeup is just
Yep.
really fooling players like Davis and Purcell who tend to swing really aggressively. And she tips that one. On deck is Kate Mazurski, the center fielder. And she crushes one.
That's great hitting.
Right up the middle.
Great hitting, Amber.
A great at bat there. And I wonder if Coach is going to use Amber has decent speed. I wonder if he's going to put some runners in here because he's got a bench that you would not believe, and he is. He's going to bring in Tegan Coyle, and she will run. So, in essence, she's going to run, and her substitution means that she'll be out of the game.
Right.
So he'll putting her back, Amber back in right field. So now they know that she's a bunter, and let's see. I think in this situation, I hate to say it, I think you execute a bunt here. But that was not an execution of the bunt, right? Right. And I think you're right. I think a bunt to the first base side is what does it.
Oh my gosh. Did she foul it?
She lunged at the ball, and yeah. So now does Coach Fleming have confidence that she can lay down a bunt here, or does she swing away?
You're going to see a hard fastball coming, kid.
And she gets a single.
Nice.
So a great piece of hitting by Kate Mazurski. So
Again,
2 singles.
She waited on the pitch, too.
So now I got to ask you this question. Do you bunt? Do you bunt, knowing that you've got Chouinard, who's a pretty good hitter, coming up on deck?
I think you give her a shot to hit to be first. No.
You see, the reason why bunting is not a bad idea is that it forces throws, Bill.
Yeah.
So if you throw the ball to first and if there's an overthrow, you get a run
I
score.
didn't see how they covered that.
Yeah. You got to pull the bat back on these. It's funny because we're up here in the press box and we got everybody saying, "Geez," and it's a little bit challenged because this is the part where Goffstown has been very good and it's throwing down executing a good bunt. So now she's in an 0-2 count, and she hits a blooper to second base, and that would have been. I don't know if that would give her an infield fly on that one. Yeah. So runners at first and second, we weren't able to execute a bunt there to advance the runners. And the reason why I'm saying all this is important is because if you execute a bunt, runners at second and third with 2 outs, a wild pitch brings in a run. And that's a strike on the outside part. And
see, this takes the bunt off.
Of course, you can't. Well, now you can't bunt, and I get all of that. Great stop by the catcher. Uh-oh.
Be careful.
So Mazurski almost got hung up at first base there. Because you got to keep in mind, Mazurski is following Coyle. And that's hit right back to the pitcher, and that'll do it. So Goffstown fails to execute on that in that situation. They get 2 base hits by Amber Davis and Mazurski, but they're unable to execute, and they come up scoreless.
Score 1-0 in favor of the Lady Birds.
So coming up for Coe-Brown are 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, and this is
this is
really where you need to hold them. Well, we talked about this a little bit. I don't know if we were on the air or not, but when you're playing in these single elimination tournaments and you have, these are the things that can happen. You come up against a good pitcher, which you've got in Perrin today. And then you also have a situation in which you have cold bats. Right. And now you have a battle of both. So what we're seeing now is a pitching change. We've got the second baseman, Shannon Gifford, has now come into the game, and she will replace Chouinard. And I'm not, because Chouinard plays second base, Fleming now has the opportunity to bring Chouinard back in and pitch. So,
right.
But what this does is it puts, they've seen her. You got to keep in mind here too that Perrin and Drew Sapatelli have gone 3 for 4 against Chouinard. So maybe that's why Coach Fleming has decided, hey, I'm going to mix this up a little bit, because it's a 1-run game. We're in the top of the 5th inning, and he's like, you know what? We got to try to do something different here.
And you have a different style pitcher,
Right.
too.
You've got a different
in
motion, a very intimidating motion, I might add.
Number 2, Mallory Perrin.
So it's a 2 versus 2, pitcher versus pitcher.
But, you know, you can't take anything away from Chouinard.
Oh, no.
We haven't executed offensively.
Yeah.
She did a good job with what she was doing.
So you're seeing a completely different delivery between Chouinard and Shannon Gifford. And that one's popped onto the roof, and that one is another, I call that a Butch Gifford ball, because Butch is the gentleman who typically gets on a ladder and fetches all those balls. And that's popped up. This is a tough play. And Landry,
Did she cover
did
some
she
ground?
cover an unbelievable amount of ground there? She got a great jump, and I'll be quite honest with you, that ball could have been easily the second baseman's or even Amber Davis, but she covered a ton of ground on that.
Sepatelli, who's a slap hitter.
And that's in there
Good
for a
pitch.
strike. So now note that Birmingham is now setting up on the, now he sets up on the right shoulder of the catcher. That's a changeup, right back to Gifford.
Tiger.
So it was a
Oh,
bad
that's right.
throw. I don't know if it was a bad throw or a bad catch, to be honest with you. Huh?
She didn't get a hit, though, I'll tell you. It's got to be a E3.
We'll have to ask our public address announcer. What do you think on that one, Mr. Public Address Announcer? Pitcher or first baseman on that? E3, catcher, first baseman?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, that being the case, so it's the pitcher's job to throw the ball, towards, you got to be careful in that situation. More towards
To the infield
the
side.
infield side, yeah. So you got Emma Dubois. Nice stop. And again, I'd like to see Amber Davis be running in. Every time that she sees the first baseman go back to first, then she really should be covering. Hit to short. I'm not so why she didn't throw it.
I don't know. So that's a fielder's choice here.
Number 15, Terry Riley.
And unassisted.
I thought she got it. I don't know if she got spiked or she definitely. I don't know if she twisted an ankle or something, but. So 2 outs for Goffstown. We've got a runner at first base still. 13 is up. Carrie Riley, the right fielder. She walked her first at bat, grounded out to third. And she smiles, so I guess she's okay.
I think Justine was just a little nervous about making the throw.
Right. She took the shore out. And you know what? I think that's what you're told by your coaching staff is always get the shore out. And to get a double play in softball on a ground ball is pretty difficult.
This is the hitter. She hasn't shown much today, but
So Kerry Riley, the right fielder, steps in. Runner at first. And that's in there for a
Good pitch.
strike. It's interesting is that Coe-Brown is doing what Goffstown did as well. They take a big lead and try to make them throw the ball.
another one.
Another strike. Oh, 2 count with 2 outs to Riley. Low, 1 and 2. Good eye by Kerry Riley.
Good pitch.
And that's a nice pitch, and that's also on the lower roof. 1-2 count. you don't tend to see a whole lot of change-ups from Gifford. Gifford's a different type of pitcher. She's more throw the heat.
Yeah, but her ball moves,
Yeah.
too. Oh.
Oh, I don't believe that was not called a strike.
Oh,
That is unbelievable.
Oh, my word.
That was at the knees, folks. 2-2 count. That's in the dirt.
Hold the ball.
Full count now.
Wild pitch.
So that's the tough part of this game. You know, you get robbed on a call strike 3 there, and now you got a runner at second base. You know, anything can happen here. Blue pit, and so Gifford's got to bear down here.
Got her.
And she gets her. So
Nice job.
the freshman Shannon Gifford, with ice in her veins, gets a strikeout. Actually, that was a strikeout a couple of pitches ago. And a pitch like that keeps this Goffstown team in this game.
Innings are getting short, though.
I would agree. So we often don't give credit to the manager or the head coach, but that was a good move by Matt Fleming to bring in.
I think he wanted to see a little change.
Yeah.
He wanted to see Gifford is more aggressive out there.
Not only is she more aggressive, but I think that when you look at the stats and if you're looking at data, you're seeing, wow, she's coming up against 3 batters where the first 2 went 3 for 4. So what do you have to lose?
This season, Gifford has struck out 30 batters, too.
So we're going to see Lendry, right?
Yep.
And then the top of the order.
Kara's got to get a better.
Well, you really got to get Lendry needs to get on here because you got the table set.
Yep.
And I'll be honest, her last 2 at-bats have not been her last at-bat was problematic.
She got fooled twice with changeups.
And Kara started off super strong beginning of the year, and she struggled a bit lately. Yeah. And Coe-Brown, they're not taking any chances. And they got their third baseman about 6 steps, guarding against the bunt. First baseman's fairly good, but now she's in a 1-2 hole.
Looks like she's having trouble with the high pitch.
Yeah. They really need to get her on base. That will change the dynamics here. And she goes down swing. That's another tough at bat. So 2 strikeouts on the day for Kara Lendry. And that's got to be a little bit frustrating on her part, no doubt. But you know what? In this team, it's a team game. You pick each other up.
Yeah.
So Lombardi, who singled and walked in her first 2 plate appearances, and she takes ball 1. And again, the power that's coming up here is 1 swing at the bat. This game is tied. Wow. Man, you got to kind of call this thing both ways, Bill. And I'm just shocked. That pitch was not a strike the half inning before. And for those of you who don't know, we have a really excellent vantage point here in the press box. That's high. So
I wonder if they're just trying to be
yeah.
careful.
Well, we gave Matt Fleming some credit last half inning. Let's give Tim Tanasco some credit. He knows what he's got here, and they're pitching her. They pitch around her. See, now the problem here is that you're getting her on base, but now we really can't. We've seen this thing now 3 times in a row.
Yep.
So Gagnon has had Lombardi in front of, on first base. This is her 3rd straight instance. And that's hit to the second baseman, who bobbles it, and it's safe. So we needed a break, and we got a break. So that's a great play by Lombardi, who ran super hard. So for those on the underclassmen on this Goffstown team, lesson to be learned here, run as hard as you can because Lombardi avoided getting, forced out on that play.
Out, yeah. All right, so now he's going to have to figure out what he wants to do here. I don't really think that Gifford is going to bunt the ball.
Gifford is not going to bunt the ball. I mean, but she's not going to bunt the ball. But what has to happen here is someone like Gagnon and Lombardi need to know that if the ball is, let's say, hit to the outfield, are they going to tag up? I can tell you flat out, I'm not tagging up on the right fielder.
No. No.
Just not. But the other thing is that, does he want to create some action here? Does he want to try to do a steal? Because does he want to? Now, no, look at your third baseman is playing in. Do you? I say you take it. Okay, I do.
So they got the second baseman covering second.
Great job by the catcher, who has had a solid game, and that is Amelia Crenshaw, who has played stellar behind the plate today for Coe-Brown. And she pops one up. This is going to be in play. Oh, whoa.
I got it.
Yeah. Hey, I need my pencil back. Here,
Grab when you get a chance.
Yeah. So Gifford is in a 1-2 hole.
Change it. Nope.
And that ball's high and outside. So this is nail-biter time for the Goffstown bench and the Goffstown coaching staff. 2-2 count. And she hits one. That's going to be trouble! And that's going to clear the bases. Shannon Gifford hits a double. And it's like she's going to go to third. This is big, big trouble. And she's going to go home.
Slide.
And she's safe. Goffstown takes a 3-1 lead on Shannon Gifford's triple. That ball was stroked to right field. Shannon Gifford, the freshman phenom, drives in herself and two others.
3-base hit.
And that was a triple and an error to plate 3 runs, just what the doctor ordered. As I say, don't mess with the wild thing.
That was much needed.
Here comes Megan Purcell. Also a lot of power for Goffstown. That's high and away.
Gifford's hit, I don't think the third base, the right fielder really had a play on the ball. And then when she fell, that just...
And Purcell almost takes out a windshield in foul territory. If you're driving that Chevy SUV, probably not a good idea. Ooh, that was a phenomenal pitch by Perrin.
Another changeup, too.
Yep. But that's what you have to do. You got to throw that stuff. High and outside, 3-2 count with 1 out. Amber Davis is on deck. I say a changeup's coming here. Nope. That hits her. So you'll see another runner.
Should be a courtesy runner.
Yep, you'll see Fournier coming in. Emily Fournier is going to come in as a runner for Purcell. All right.
So we only have 1 out here. Going with Fournier at first. And
so now you got to ask yourself with Amber Davis, who walked and singled, what do you do here? I think you hit away, right?
Yeah,
or
I think you let her hit.
Now Fournier's got good speed at first base. But what I'd like to see is I'd like to show bunt here to draw the third baseman in. And she bunts. That's a good bunt. Now who's covering third? There was nobody really covering third.
Left fielder finally got
Yeah,
there.
but that,
Yep.
I think that was the instance to go to 3 because you know how hard it is to catch a ball while you're running to try to get it? Number 9, the third baseman, didn't come back
So
in.
we get a fielder's choice here.
So a sack bunt.
Brings Fournier to second. And Mazurski's up.
So a great job, heads up base running by Emily Fournier. She ends up at third. Now another wild pitch. She's going to be heading home. So Chouinard should be taking a few pitches here. And that's the strike on the outside. A
Mazurski.
1-1 count. I'm sorry, that's Mazurski, yep. That was the wrong blonde ponytail. High. You know, not for nothing, but this is another bunting opportunity because she's an awesome bunter in terms of getting on base.
2 outs.
Doesn't matter. High. 3-1 count. So now it's in Mazurski's favor. And, you know, the one thing that Mazurski won't do that the other players have been is that she's not aggressive hitter, so she doesn't go after those change-up pitches. Great pitch. She went right after her. So now it's a 3-2 count with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th.
Fastball.
And now you will see a fastball. Watterson's on deck. We got Fournier's got to pay attention. And that's popped up, and that's going to go to the second baseman. And that's grabbed for the out. So big triple by the freshman, Shannon Gifford. Scores 3 runs for Goffstown. And we're going to head into the top of the 6th inning. And I'll tell you, this is quite the game today.
3 runs and 2 hits.
The score after 5 complete, Coe-Brown 3, Coe-Brown 1.
1 left on base. So we have Bedell, Crenshaw, and Stevens up.
So you sometimes you wonder, you know, like, hey, why does a coach, a head coach like Tim Tenasco, or why does a Matt Fleming, why do they bring up so many JV players and fill the roster spots? And they do it for those very reasons. If you have a hitter who gets on base who does not have tremendous speed, you substitute them, and yes, you do. They can never re-enter the game. So Emily Fournier can't re-enter the game. Tegan Coyle can't re-enter. But in this particular instance, you had Emily Fournier, who was 60 feet away from scoring a run, and she would have a better opportunity than, say, Megan Purcell in terms of a wild pitch or just advancing. So we're going into the top of the 6th inning, and number 1, Sheila Bedell, who struck out looking and grounded out to Watterson, the shortstop.
I
Right?
wonder now, is this going to change their approach to the game because they're down 2 runs?
In terms of not playing small ball? I don't think so. I think it worked. I think it worked for them. Whoa!
Oh my God.
Watch out for the Equinox.
On the bounce and over.
So, you know, I work for an insurance company, and this is just wrong. I mean, you got to park your car somewhere else because it's just then we got to pay out a claim bill if we don't have to.
Oh, she lost the ball.
And you wonder why your premiums are so high because people are, you know, they're parking their car right next to a softball field.
Ooh, boy.
2 balls and 1 strike. So again, you know, Coe-Brown is saying, "Hey, listen, we gave up 3, but you know what? We got to get them back now." And Shannon Gifford's having a little control problem here, 3-1. And the tough thing, you know, here is that you got what, your 5, 6, 7 hitters coming up. And this is where Kaylee Chouinard had good success with these players. And she draws a walk, and that's what you don't want to do.
Okay, now we'll see. Karen, I would say they'll bunt here. Although this girl had a single last time up.
Yeah, I do think you bunt. because it's only a 2-run game. I think any time that you can make players field the ball and throw the ball and tight, this is a tight game. If this was a 3-run difference, I would probably agree with you, but 2 runs.
Fake bunt.
So Gifford has thrown 4 out of 5 balls.
He's got to
And
step
Lombardi-
back and control.
Lombardi went out there to talk to her. Got to keep in mind too that that's a single.
Good shot, too.
That should go to third, not to second. I don't know why she threw it into second base, but. And I say that because if you don't clean it fieldly, if it's a bad throw into second, what happens? It goes into the outfield.
Yeah, could
And
score that run.
exactly. So now we got a walk and a single, and now you're definitely going to see a bunt to get the tying runs into scoring position.
How are we going to play this? Come on, kids.
You're going to see a bunt. So this is tough here for Shannon Gifford, and that's a strike. And I'm shocked that they're not bunting here. And keep in mind that Drew Stevens had a beautiful sack bunt, and so did Kate Langdon. But maybe it's because they're not confident that they can then execute getting a single. I don't know.
Here he comes.
That's fouled. So it's a 1-2 count.
Okay, Watterson was going to third. We had nobody at second, though.
But that's the price you have to pay, though, Bill. I mean, you always got to go for the lead runner. That's high, 2-2. I'll tell you the one thing you don't want to do here is you don't want another base on balls. So she's got to bear down here.
There it is.
That's fouled off. Great at bat for Drew Stevens, the shortstop. Way to hang in there. That was a heater coming in.
Boy, it's in center field or deep. Oh.
But you're playing. You need to play that deep, though. Now she takes a step in.
Good pitch.
And that's a strikeout for Gifford. An off-speed pitch, a changeup. And now Kate Langdon steps in, the center fielder. She popped to third and sacrificed bunt herself. I am just shocked that they did not try to execute a bunt there with first and second and no outs. Now we got first and second with 1 out. She goes, she got her. Oh, come on. Oh, my goodness gracious. She got her in the chest. She got her high. That was a real tough call there.
Both runners advance. So now, do you bring the infield in?
I say no.
Shortstop's too deep, though.
Yeah. I say no. And that should not have been a ball because she showed on that bunt. She didn't bring that back. (2-0) to number 5, Kate Langdon. So it's a double steal. Fouled. 2-1 count. Looks like we got a little bit of action going on in the kitchen here at the Randstand. There's like a lot of smoke going on.
We don't need the fire company, do we?
I don't know.
I think Matt needs to take a little trip out.
I think he does after this next pitch, perhaps. But and then you got to think about re-entering Chouinard potentially. So number 5, Kate Langdon, 3-1 count here with 1 out. And I think you got to if you're the coach here, you got to go out there and maybe make a change. And he's going to do that. He's going to go out there and talk Yep.
She's way outside the straight.
And that's okay. So now you got the bases loaded for Katie Messenger.
Singled in the second inning and then struck out.
And I tell you, you wanted a super duper game, you got one. I mean, this is a battle here in Goffstown. Coe-Brown started off with a 1-0 lead in the top of the first inning. Goffstown then was able to plate 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th with a triple and a throwing error with Shannon Gifford's hit. However, Coe-Brown has now battled back, and now they've got the bases loaded in the top of the 6th inning, and they're threatening to at least tie this thing up with a hit. So Kaylee Schwinnard is going to face Katie Messenger, who singled in her first at-bat and struck out in her last at-bat.
I'm going to tell you, they're going to squeeze.
You know, and I don't disagree with this move. Just watching Shannon out there, I didn't feel comfortable.
Yeah. So, Matt Fleming.
You got to bring the infield in, Coach. You got to bring the infield in.
I don't know. We talked about taking 2. I don't know about that, but. And that first pitch is a ball. So the pressure is on Goffstown here. Bases loaded for Katie Messenger, number 9. And she pops one out of play to even the count at 1-1. So if you and I have knots in our stomach in this situation, can you imagine what the players are feeling like, or their parents, much less all the fans for both sides? And that ball is a single. That's going to plate 2. That's a smart play. So that's a tie game, folks. A single up the middle. Smart play by Schwinnard to cut that one off. If she doesn't do it, potential second and third again. So Coe-Brown gets a clutch hit, and they tie this thing up, and now they go to the top of the order. So what an awesome game here in Goffstown. Top of the 6th inning. We're tied 3-3.
Perrin is flown out to the center fielder.
But she's had 2 singles today, and she's had good success versus Schwinnard. Let's see if they try another steal situation. And they don't need to. Wow.
Pass ball.
So now Goffstown is in a heap of trouble. In some cases, you almost wonder, do you walk her, right, and load the bases to get a force out?
I know, not to face Sepitelli, I don't think.
Pop up.
Infield fly.
That should be, no, not with
No.
nobody is
That's
at
right.
first. So it's 2 outs. There's a pop up to Shannon Gifford. But a tremendous job by Coe-Brown here, really putting the heat on Goffstown. So Sepitelli, who is probably arguably one of the best players on the team, she steps in with runners at second and third. And she's out.
Nice
So Coe-Brown comes back and plates 2 runs to tie this thing up in the top of the 6th inning. So if Goffstown thought that they were out of the woods with that 3-run triple slash and then error, Coe-Brown said, no, this game is not over.
2 runs on a hit, huh? This is going to go right down to the end.
Yeah, I would agree. And I tell you, talk about poise. Schwinnard got out of a jam here. You could tell almost that in that top of the 6th, Gifford just didn't have it, And I thought, Matt did the best that he could do in terms of letting her work through it. But unfortunately, sometimes you have it, sometimes you don't. Nothing to hang your head down on, though. I mean,
Northwood now. Remember, they're all here.
so who are we going to have up right now for Goffstown? We've got Watterson, Schwinnard, and Lendry.
This part of the order has not produced today.
Yes, you would be correct there. What has Watterson done? She popped to center field, and then what did she do the last at bat? She
Flew out.
What? Papa.
F4.
Yeah.
F4, F8.
Yeah. But her key thing was not really being able to execute that bunt. That's in the dirt. But I tell you, I talked to Justine earlier, a couple days ago. She's come a long way. Beautiful job at shortstop this year. And that ball's hit
nice
to the
shot.
center field fence. That's gone.
Oh.
A home run for Justine Watterson. And Goffstown takes a 4-3 lead. Holy cow. Justine Watterson. I wasn't sure that one was going out, but a line drive home run picked up by Principal Frank McBride.
You can't
What
keep
a
that
shot
ball,
by
Tom.
Justine Watterson. And that gets the Goffstown bench up and energized.
Oof. That was a line shot, too.
I don't think she liked what you said about her, Bill.
No.
You said that she was struggling.
She isn't now.
She didn't now. So here comes Chouinard. And that one is about 3 feet in the dirt. And I'll tell you, this one, you're going to need like paddles. What do you call those
Yeah.
heart paddles or something? Oh, my goodness. What a game. And Chouinard hits one to center.
Nice
Caught by
running
the center
play.
fielder. Nice job by the center fielder. That is Kate Langdon. What a beautiful catch by Langdon. Nice rip, but a beautiful catch by Langdon. And now you're going to see a substitution. Brennan is hitting. Brennan, right? Brennan is going to hit for Lendry. Now they're going to take her glove out? Why would you do that? Can you explain that one with 2 outs? Oh, it's only 1 out. I'm sorry.
1 out.
Yeah. That's a strike to Olivia Brennan. Olivia Brennan was one of the several players called up from the junior varsity where she had just a phenomenal season. Oh, my goodness gracious. Well, I don't know what Blue is looking at here. This is a tough one. I don't mind the umpire calling, pitches high and strikes, but you got to call it the same way throughout the game. Oh, she's got to run. All right, so Brandon is out, and in steps 16 for Goffstown. Lombardi. So Allie Lombardi, who also has tremendous power. See, I wasn't sure about that one because Lendry is just such a phenomenal center fielder. I don't know who you're going to put in there, right? Because doesn't she come out or no? She has to. Or is it one of those flex situation, re-entry in a flex situation maybe? I don't know. I don't know how that works. So Lombardi steps in with 2 outs. Goffstown leads 4-3 on a nail-biter of a game. And that's outside for a ball.
She's not going to see too much.
Yeah, and again, not in a close game. I don't think you want to put anything too close. That's in the dirt for a 2-0 count. So give Mallory Perrin credit and the coaching staff for Coe-Brown. I mean, they've scouted Goffstown very well. They know that Lombardi is hitting over 500. And that one was right down the middle. A little bit was taken off on that one. A lot of coaching going on here, folks. I can tell you that right now. Seeing the JV coaches talking to Brennan. And she pops one up. That's playable to the first baseman. And she grabs it. So Goffstown grabs a 1-run lead here. So it's a 4-3 lead going into the top of the 7th. And that was by a Justine Watterson line drive home run over the right center field fence. So we're going to get a re-entry on Lendry. So that was the reason why. So he uses Brennan's bat,
Right.
which was a wise move. Yeah, because she was struggling a bit today.
Plus, he said yesterday in the practice, Brennan hit a couple balls out of here, too.
All right, so who are we going to see here?
3, 4, and 5.
So Emma Dubois, Kerry Riley, and Shaylin Bedell. And in terms of, I don't think any of them have had a hit
No.
the whole game.
No. And this is the meat of their order, too.
I agree. Well, I tell you one thing. This game has given me heart palpitations, and I obviously I'm not going to count this Coe-Brown team out. I mean, every time that Goffstown has kind of come back, they've answered.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it really hasn't been a situation where, Goffstown has made errors, or it's just a situation where Coe-Brown has just executed.
Yeah.
I think that's where you got to give Coe-Brown credit. They've just done a super job forcing their game. And I think, in my opinion, I think that they forced the issue on Goffstown. I think they
really did.
I think they played. Goffstown played their game, and that's a strike one. Tim Tanasco has certainly showed that he's a real good coach. In the dirt. So Kerry Riley, the right fielder, she walked her first at bat, grounded to third, and struck out in her last at bat. But that strikeout was against Gifford.
No, the Dubois.
I'm sorry?
Dubois.
Oh, Dubois, I'm sorry. And that's another strike. I'm sorry, so Dubois, I'm sorry. She sacrificed, bunted, grounded to second, and then had a fielder's choice. So a 1-2 count, and she steps out. That's a smart, heady play by Emma Dubois.
Yeah.
You gotta take the pitcher out of rhythm.
Got her.
All right, that's one out for Goffstown in the top of the 7th inning, and that was a great play by Lombardi to stop that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was Kerry Riley that I was talking about, her line, and she walked in the first inning, grounded out to third in her second at bat, and struck out in her last at bat. So this is her 4th time at the plate.
But she could launch one on one good swing.
Exactly, and I think that's the key here in these games is that you look at a Justine Watterson. She's not known for her home runs. That's her 2nd home run of the season, but she's not a home run hitter. Wow. And that's a pitch that was low for ball 1. I think you play no. That's the same pitch. That's a strike, though. I'm a little surprised. I play no doubles defense here, but Goffstown isn't. One thing I noticed with Kaylee today is that she's missing low. Right? She's right? Is it me or?
No, she.
Or
Yeah.
do you think she's
off a
intentionally
little
throwing
bit.
the ball in the? That's a change up in there for a strike. 2-2.
Plus, I don't think she's got a real good feel for the umpire.
Yeah, I would agree. Well, I don't think I have a real good feel for the umpire either. I mean, I don't.
No, you've stated that.
Yeah. And that's in the dirt as well. And that's the 2nd out of the game for another strikeout for Chouinard. So Coe-Brown is down to their last out. Okay. And again, now you got number 1 up, Shaylin Bedell. She struck out looking, grounded to short, and walked. I don't think you want to get to the catcher. I think the catcher has power, and she's also 2 for 3 today.
Yeah.
And that's in there for a strike. So Coe-Brown, who has been battling all day long, they're down to their final out with Bedell.
Another strike.
And now she's in an 0-2 hole. So Kaylee Chouinard has a lot of different options here Let's see what signals they throw down here.
You come hard to her. Got her.
And that hits the short. That's deep, though. And that's an out. And Goffstown wins the game 4-3. What a nail-biter of a game. A big, big, big victory for Goffstown. And a tremendous game by Coe-Brown, who really put it to Goffstown today, in my opinion. And I'm not saying Goffstown's lucky to have won the game, but Coe-Brown deserves a ton of credit for really forcing the action. I thought that they dictated play today.
Oh, definitely. Their game was to get on base, run, bunt if they can, take some good hits. You know, we got the hits when we needed them.
So clearly we're going to be talking to Chouinard, and we're going to be talking to Gifford and Watterson today. And
now, what's the situation? We play, what, Wednesday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday, is it?
Yeah. So we're going to head down to the field, and we're going to do some interviews. Great game again by Goffstown, who wins a really a nail-biter, 4-3. So once again, I want to thank our crew, Butch Gifford, Daryl, our cameraman, Brad, our public address announcer, Brianna, who does our music, and thank you, Bill, of course, for being my great partner in these broadcasts.
Okay, I guess we're off.
All right. Hello, this is Scott Gross. I'm here with Matt Fleming and Tim Tanasco, coaches for Goffstown and for Coe-Brown. And I was commenting that, Tim, I just thought you just did a phenomenal job. You took it to Goffstown, and I thought actually you set the pace for this game.
Yes, we did.
No, you got runners on.
Yeah.
You were aggressive, making Goffstown
Yeah.
throw the ball, and I think you really set the stage for making Goffstown throw the ball and really create plays for yourself.
I think you have to. I mean, they're a very good team, very good program. They're well coached, a great infield, a solid outfield, and we had to manufacture some runs and get some runners on base and see how they would do under pressure.
So I want to first congratulate you also. I mean, this is your last game coaching, and
Yes.
I can tell you it was a pleasure watching you coach this team because I think that you did an excellent job. You fell a little bit short to a really good Goffstown team, but you played your heart out. What was the strategy with your pitcher, Mallory Perrin? It looked like she had initially a lot of first pitch changeups to get Goffstown off balance.
Yeah, pretty much. Just trying to keep Matt's teams off balance. And, they hit the long ball, as you noticed today.
Yeah.
I think the league in softball now is a hitter's game, right? You need a pitcher to keep hitters off balance, outside, inside, change up, screw balls, whatever you need to do. If you just put it over the middle, they're just going to put it over the fence. So,
Yeah.
And that's kind of been her MO for the last 2 years, being a starting pitcher. And I thought she did a great job.
She did a phenomenal job, and I thought that she did exactly what you were trying to do, and that was to take the power hitters off
Yes.
balance. And I remember that first plate appearance by Alyssa Lombardi, who has a lot of power. She basically had to throw the bat at the
Yes,
ball, and
yeah.
that was a smart play. She got on
Yes,
base, but she
yeah.
didn't hit a line drive.
Yeah.
And that was
Yeah.
real smart
Yeah. And
coaching
they
on your part.
did that last time when we were over here in May. They hit a lot of line drives in the gaps, and they got runners on, and they scored a lot of runs against us.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
So Matt, getting to you, I mean, for one, Tim, I can see that there's a friendship here. There's a certain camaraderie.
You know what, Scott? There is, and he's a phenomenal coach. And I just found out today he wasn't coming back, and I'm devastated by that. In this division, really, we want great coaches because they not only are great role models for these kids, but they put on games like that, and we were commenting between innings about how great this game was and how we want to see those types of games every time we play. And, sometimes we don't. We see sort of these tough games to watch, with not a lot of things happening and a lot of offense on one side. And so when you get into games like this is truly the sport we're trying to teach these kids how to play through adversity and how to be up and how to be down and how to fight back. And, everything he was doing in this game, I said to him afterwards, and we were talking, he threw everything at me, and I threw everything right back at him, and we were fighting, but it was a great fight, and I'm blown away by his team. His girls are phenomenal athletes. They're fast on the bases. They're a nightmare to deal with once they get on, and that was my fear early on. We're going to let them get on, and they're going to do damage, and they did do damage, and then to get out ahead, I thought we got a chance here, and then they did damage again, and and that's no mistake. That's from Tim being a phenomenal coach, understanding situations, manufacturing those things, and really brilliant play calling is what I thought it was. And I kept shaking my head thinking, why didn't I think of that, because it was just so great, and he has the runners to do it. And really, we shouldn't have met now. We should have met, we talked about this earlier today, should have been deeper into the Final Four. But I'm glad
Thanks
I
a
got
lot
chance
for
to
losing
play.
to Sauhegan. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
that was on me.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, I just want to congratulate you, Matt, and congratulate you on your season and just a way to battle back. I personally was wondering if Principal McBride was getting the DFib unit because there was a lot of parents, and I know a lot of us upstairs were quite anxious. But again, congratulations.
Okay. Thank you.
And thank you very again,
Yes.
Matt.
Okay.
And we're going to call some of the players up and speak to them. All right, I'm here with Shannon Gifford. Shannon, I was biting my nails. That's how close this game was, and it was a 1-0 game. Kind of tell me what's going on through your mind, not so much the team, but what's on your mind when you guys were down 1-0 in about the 5th inning?
To be honest, I was nervous, and when I went up to bat, it was crazy. I had so much emotion inside me. I just knew I had to get a hit, but it's crazy right now. It was a great game.
Yeah. So you brought in to pitch, and I think that was a really smart move by Coach Fleming because I don't know if you know this, but the 3 hitters that you faced, they went like 4 for 6 against Kaylee. So I think that's why he brought you in. And then you kind of shut them down. Then you come in the 6th, and you looked like your pitches weren't kind of getting delivered.
Yep.
What was going on in that situation?
Well, most of them were going high. I was releasing late. I think after my hit, I was kind of just so excited,
You're kind of jacked
Yeah.
up, and yeah.
I was just too excited.
So what does this mean? What does this win mean for you and for this team? It was a really tough game. I mean, what does it mean to you guys?
It means everything, honestly, for our seniors to go to the Final Four again. They're just so pumped about it, and it's great. I'm so glad we could do that for them.
All right. Well, congratulations. You
Thank
did a
you.
great contribution, and we'll hand it off. I'm here with Justine Watterson and Kaylee Chenard. Justine, I'm going to start with you first. I didn't know you had all this power, to be honest with you. You hit your first home run of the season like a game or two ago, right? And on that particular one, you crushed it. I wasn't sure it was going out. I actually thought it was going to be like a double. Did you know from the get-go that was going to clear the fence?
No, I really did not think so. That's why I kind of hesitated at second, and then I saw Matt waving his hands. I was like, oh, all right, let's go.
So you got to be completely pumped. I mean, that was the go-ahead. That's the game-winning home run.
Yeah.
And your second one in a week. So, kind of what was going through your mind though at the plate at that particular instance?
I thought I was gonna poop my pants. I was so scared. I took that first pitch, and I was like, okay, deep breaths. Look at Matt. Okay, and then I just hit it. And I was like, all right, let's.
So now you know. Now you know what you can do. Let's talk a little about defense. And we talked about this. Not during an interview, but you've had such a solid year. This is your first year playing shortstop, and every single game, you're making these plays at short. There's a couple of them where a great stretch by Meg, but again, you got him, and that was one that was deep in the hole, and you still got him. What you're doing a lot of reps in practice in terms of fielding and throwing. It seems like it's all mechanical. It's like it's like you're a machine.
Reps.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so Kaylee, let's get to you. I mean, this was an interesting game from my perspective. I have watched you pitch a lot of games. You seemed a little bit nervous from the get-go. I'm not sure. They jumped on you, too.
Yeah.
How did that affect you, in the first couple innings?
Well, I came in to the first inning, and I didn't really feel that well. I was warming up, and none of my pitches were working. So I was like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna go well. I don't know if this is gonna go my way. And I let a few hang over the plate. So they just got a hold of them, and then it went from there. But then Giff came in, and she did amazing. And then they took Giff out, and I went back in. So it was just a crazy process today.
Now, what did you try to do against Coe-Brown? Did you have any type of strategy that you and Matt talked about, or your pitching coach?
Not really. We knew there were a lot of slappers, so we were gonna throw them outside, but I wasn't really getting the outside call, so it didn't.
What do you mean you
out.
weren't getting the outside? I couldn't tell from the watching the. No, I'm only kidding. I'm calling the game, and as you know, we've got a pretty good vantage point from up there. And there was a lot of pitches. I mean, I don't know if Daryl, you want to show home plate here, but we're right by home plate, and there's a lot of pitches that were right here, and that you weren't getting the call on the outside part. And I think it's because he was setting up on the inside part of the plate, and he has to almost to reach over. But how does that affect your psyche? I think I counted 8 pitches that did not go your way.
Yeah, it frustrated me definitely, and I think it gave me a little bit of nerve, and I was just panicking because I didn't know if like I was gonna try to like get it a little bit closer, and then it would hang over the middle and they would crush it. But I just pitched them inside, and that seemed to work. But it's hard when you like not getting the calls.
All right, so Tuesday night at SNU, do you know who you're playing at?
I think it's gonna be Pembroke.
You heard it's Pembroke, so I just want to wish you guys, we will be there. I don't know if we can broadcast, but we will definitely be there. Congratulations, guys. Awesome game, awesome home run, awesome
you.
pitching performance.
Thank you.
And that'll do it. Hopefully we'll be able to broadcast, film the game on Tuesday. If not, this is our last broadcast, and we will be there to cheer you guys on. So with that, I want to thank Bill Ruel. My name is Scott Gross, and we are signing off.